This man walked into a corn bar, immediately shoot the owner of the restaurant. Then he fired bullets wildly around. Anyone who shows Ra's face will evaporate on the spot. So who is this man? But come down to kill people like that. How true is the story? Let's go to the movie. For being a hired driver, Mike accepted to drive a luxury car. But you don't know that accepting these two bosses. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life. Mike takes his two clients to Danny's house. When the two sides met, Tay shook his face and was very happy. Outside, Mike is waiting. I ran into the boy at the Tells's boxing club. He saw his coach driving a luxury car. I immediately wanted to sit down and try, although he didn't want to, but Mike had to agree. After getting in the car, he turned on the music and recorded a video to show off. And inside, curly-haired man asks Danny to pay for it. Give the amount of noodles that you provided during the games. Right away, his juniors brought a bag of money raw as promised. And yet, when the curly-haired man opens it, it's all hell money. These guys play Cho happy again. Stole money like that. He also pulled out hot goods to kill people to kill them. The bald guy was lucky to be able to run out, but can't go far. Also, Danny gave me a sweet copper candy. This scene was accidentally recorded by Les phone. He also realizes Mike's existence, then smashed the window and dragged him out. Good luck, Danny, unaware of the boy's appearance. After being dragged into Mike's house, he quickly counterattacked. Because he's a boxer, his punches are as big as a watermelon. Successfully locked Danny outside, but unexpected. When he went inside, his juniors were already waiting. Danny also broke in the door at this time. No one can't fight too. Mike uses 36 tricks to escape is the best. Danny also chases right behind. After passing 7-7-49 iron walls, Mike temporarily cut off their tails. Danny's juniors found Mike's wallet and know all about you. After it was reported that Danny asked his father for help. It is known that he is the boss of the assassin organization. Do not know that who the tycoon's son needs to find again is the son of the main male. After receiving the information, the male lead immediately went to find his son. Now, the child is also coming home. He picked up the phone and called his wife and said that, please stay at my brother's house to study tonight until you get in touch again. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Although he was very scared, he still mustered up the knife and Ra opened the door. Didn't expect that after 5 years from each other, father and son reunited in this situation. Mr. John suggested, as long as Mike keeps quiet and doesn't tell the truth, tonight will be as if nothing happened. Your friend will arrange everything. Outside, Danny also received a phone call from the boss. Mr. David requested, you mustn't act or do anything stupid. On the surface, he agrees, but Danny and his juniors drive to the factory. After saying goodbye to my son and planning to leave, Mr. John saw Danny's car. Inside, as soon as he met Mike, Danny pointed a gun at him. An explosion sounded like a person lying down. Not Mike, but Danny. Luckily, John came back just in time. Mike suggested that the male lead call an ambulance, but with 25 years of experience in the profession, John knows his shot can't miss. The male lead uses Danny's phone to call Tycoon. He confessed that, I killed Danny, because he was about to shoot and kill your son. Even though the phone call went on peacefully, but both of you know, there will be a war coming. Right after that, Mike kicked the male lead out of the house. I myself called the police. I report everything that happened. But the police handcuffed Tay and took him to the station. Suspecting bad luck, John also chased after. In the car, the police called to report a murder. The killer without any other AI is Mike. Now, Mike realized that the police were deliberately blaming him and they planned to take you to some secret place. John also looked at Where does this route take my son? The driver crashed into the police car, despite being but John's handlebars must be top of the range. Hugs, smooth steering, no less than professional racer, plus my sharp ears. Even though the police fired bullets like rain, I can't even touch your feathers. As a result, the older the ginger, the police eyes finally gave in. After the accident, the male lead ran to get the key and open the cuffs. Give your son, then drag him away. Mike also picked up a gun at this time to protect himself. A cop crawled out and shot Mike by reflex. He was about to shoot in self-defense, but his father stopped him. By this time, the police had also arrived. 2 people had to jog to a subway station. Now, everywhere is looking for the whereabouts of the father and son. One of the tycoon's juniors discovered John and rushed to attack. But the male lead is also not average. He quickly counterattacked and returned for tit for tat. Can be said to be on par with an 8-hour person and half a pound. Though physically, he might be better than John. But compared to skill and acumen, of course, this guy has no door for you. Lead actor, just a white cloth sent him to heaven. After getting lost, Mike's father also find a way to avoid the pursuit of the police. Right when the train is about to depart, father and son finally meet again. At this time, boss David also asked his juniors, take the bodies from his son's house in Mike's car, to put all the blame on you. Then he gathered all his juniors together. Tonight they will hunt and destroy their lives. For being in a gang, John knew what was about to happen. He took Mike to a parking lot. With only shoelaces, he opened the door of a car. After successfully stealing the car, John reminds his son to come pick up his family, and brought to the old wooden house. Used to be there. Noah and will find Mike and his family. Soon John called Inspector Peter. who always find a way to put him in jail. But this is the only police that John can trust. John asks Peter to help his son. Because the boy is innocent, Inspector agrees to the condition. John must give him list of people that John killed by order of Tycoon David. Because I can't find a common voice. John turned off the phone and went to the rendezvous with his old friend. Two friends reminiscing old memories. John has served David with all his heart for more than 25. He helped David kill countless people. Until today, John just asked his brother to spare someone's life. It's only his son. It was you who killed Danny, and he will pay with his death. But David did not respect the old love. David wants John. You also have to experience pain. Empty when losing a son, like the feeling you're going through. Received a reply from a friend. John got up and left. There are assassins waiting outside the door. But these shrimps? Of course not. The male lead's opponent. At the same time, through TV, wife and cousin. Mike also knew everything that happened. The wife was very shocked and asked to call the police. But Mike stopped her. The police can't be trusted right now. At the same time, two policemen also came to find Mike. Fortunately, he was able to take his wife and children to escape. A policeman below interrogated the cousin, but didn't get 10. The bald guy went upstairs and went room by room to search. Just when he was about to open the room where Mike's family was hiding, then the boss's phone calls. Asked them to do another task. It's raining outside. The male lead has also come here at this time. He urgently urged his son to take his family to hide. After saying goodbye to family, Mike decided to stay. If you run away, you will have to run for the rest of your life. There is a witness who witnessed the whole truth. It's a lesbian boy. So father and son up. The car found the boy in the car driving in the night. Mike poured out all his feelings. I always hate my father. No, only orders and murder. He only returned home when he was covered in blood and need help. Mike is always disgusted with what his father does. John didn't explain anything. He just advised Mike to give up his job as a rental driver and go back to boxing. Then Rob. He always quietly follows Mike's matches. If Mike can make the last hook. I could have been a champion, instead of being a coach for the kids. But Mike can't take other people's lives, like my dad. Now, Tycoon David, also called Joe Bald Killer, he will pay double if he can take the lives of father and son. Do you think AI? John is the enemy he wants to defeat all his life, so I accepted the boss. Immediately, the assassin came to John's house. Here he found a picture. On the back is the address of a suburban house. The father and son are also coming to Les' apartment at this time. Two people banged on doors one by one and asked. An old woman recognizes two people as wanted and alerted. Close after reaching the 12th floor. They finally found the boy's house, but only your brother is at home. The police have arrived by now. Mike texted his brother that, please contact Les and let me know. His coach needs help. The bald assassin also rushed over after hearing the news. Police go check room by room and asked everyone to go out. A family in a hurry forgot to turn off the gas stove. The assassin side quickly took down a policeman. Knife punching bald head. Make the whole apartment in the dark. Then he wears special glasses and goes hunting. Father and son John meet on a burning pan and the fire started burning down the whole room. Two police also found the location of two father and son. There's no other way. Two people hurriedly ran down the emergency ladder. The fire is getting bigger and bigger. The police were forced to evacuate all the people. This is also John and Mike's chance. Two people mixed with the crowd and went down. Bald guy with his infrared glasses. As soon as he saw John, he opened fire. Despite the safety of innocent people, John revealed the identity of the assassin and asked Mike to run away and you will distract him. After hearing John, the assassin chased after him and started shooting all over the place. The male lead ran downstairs. The killer has also surfaced tomorrow. After walking for a while, I also don't have the heart to leave my father and come back. The bald head is big and strong, so he continuously strikes like a sandbag. But with his agility and acumen, the male lead controlled him and turned him into beef. Sauted really are two bloody assassins who can't stand AI. At this point, Mike ran over and was about to shoot, but again, John stopped his son. He doesn't want him to be a criminal. The police also arrived at this time. Father and son had to run away. As soon as I jumped downstairs, the male lead was given a copper candy by the killer. Inspector Peter ordered to capture two father and son alive. Should parachute the plane. Helicopter has discovered the location of two people. Or even if they run into each other, the police won't shoot. That's their chance. After tricking the police into a cellar, they got in the car and ran away. The male lead took shelter at his brother's house. Here, Mike gives first aid to Dad's wounds. Eddie questioned his brother about everything that happened. He talked that it was John who dragged his son into these things. He no longer trusts his brother for obeying the boss's orders. That rate with both relatives and friends. It was John who killed his son Eddie. When he was about to tell the bad news to the boss, David hears this. Mike is very excited about his father. He left without listening to John's explanation. Tomorrow, we'll return to the house by the lake with my family. And the male lead calls the boss. But David's answer remains unchanged. Final. Then the two of you also have to cross the predetermined boundary. David knows John is coming to find him. Should give orders to Junior. Ready John to return to the house that has been attached for more than 25. Even if he meets AI, he will shoot. Whether brothers or friends. John also kills mercilessly. For you now. Son's life is the most important. Very quickly John defeated them all. At this time, David also escaped out. In the quiet night, two friends confiding about a very long night, but are actually tracking each other's location. Today, the god of fortune knocked on John's door with the acumen of, "You alone have found the location of a friend," and shot one in the stomach. David still tries to run away. Final, John fired a fatal shot at his friend. Then John came and hugged David. While dying, David patted the male lead's cheek with his hand. Perhaps this action proved David is not angry with his friend. It's already morning. Black Boy also went to the police station, declare everything, and provide video. "You came back by accident." Proof that Danny was the shooter who killed the man. The inspector also received Mike's confession call. At the same time, John also returned to the house by the lake. He came here to wait for the police to arrive. It was over. Final. John also got to meet his daughter-in-law and grandchildren. After that, father and son said goodbye. Mike doesn't want the kids to see the police come to arrest Grandpa. When going to the lakeshore, Mike told everyone to wait, and I'll go back inside. Maybe he wants to say forgiveness to his father. But it's not that easy. The bald killer arrives. By the time John wasn't paying attention, he heard gunfire. Mike asks everyone to hide, and he went in with a gun. John also took a gun from Russ's closet and reloaded despite being wounded. The male lead is still trying to chase after the killer. John aimed and pinned a bullet to his shoulder. Then he also ate a bullet in the stomach. No, John won't make it. The bald guy started looking for luck. When he's about to find his family, Mike chases and attacks him. Even though he's injured, this bastard is still very strong. Mike's gun ran out of ammo while dying. John is still trying to load one last bullet and raise the gun. Just when the assassin was about to shoot Mike, he was in time to get out first. Then John also took his last breath. In the last moment, Mike called a father for my forgiveness for him. The police also came to check. Peter saw the note left by the male lead, instead of John's promise to him. The movie ends here. Hello, and see you in the next movies.